It has been almost a quarter of a century since Bad Boys 1 came out, and 16 years since Bad Boys 2. And now we've got Bad Boys for life. All right, man, let's check it out. Here we go.
One last time. One last time.
Oh, shit. Oh, come on, man. You can get that buffed out. No, you can get that buffed out. Remember, knock and talk. Yeah, knock, knock. Mighty PD, get down! What the hell happened to knock and talk? Hands behind your head right now. I got this. I'm gonna penetrate this man's soul with my heart. What? Watch and learn. Sir, I realize that you're scared. You know, sometimes how deep you think you got in your soul? I'm done, Mike. I'm retired. Uh-oh, here we go again. You want your legacy to be muscle shirts and body counts? Look at this mess, it's carnage. I didn't do all this. You didn't
Joe Pantoliano. Oh, I love him.
Oh, come on, Cap. You know I shot some people.
Yeah. Fuck me! Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
In these streets, I never trusted anybody but you. I'm asking you, man. Bad Boys.
One last time. One last time.
I'm the devil.
Driving through a mall. We'll pull ourselves over later. About the glasses. I've been telling your ass for a year. He can't be shot now. Shit, Mike. These are like HD.
Wow.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Hey,
what she gonna do? What she gonna do when we come in?
Hey, no, never. Y'all will never do that again. Yeah, and you fucking up the lyrics. It'll take a long time to learn. Cause it's Bad Boys for life.
Jesus Christ. That was so fucking funny. Oh my god. I just made a mess of myself. You're messing up the lyrics, and as I started laughing, he goes, and they take a long time to learn. Oh my god. Well, that's exciting. They actually look like cops who are, you know, at the edge of their career, I guess. I mean, Martin Lawrence certainly looks older. Will Smith he's like Keanu Reeves, man. He just doesn't age. I mean, Martin Lawrence still looks good for his age, but like he obviously has an older appearance. He's older now. I think that this is such an interesting role for Martin Lawrence specifically, because we've seen Will Smith continuing to do, you know, stuff through the years. He's continued to do action. He's got that one coming out soon where he's like fighting a younger version of himself, which is, I guess, sort of meta. A Gemini Man or something, right? Which, anyway, I've watched Martin Lawrence growing up and seen him do like a litany of goofy roles. And this is still goofy, but he's wrestling with something else here. I mean, at one point in the trailer, it looked like someone he knew got hurt real bad and is on like a stretcher. It looks like there's some kind of emotional thing that the trailer only gave you a glimpse of in that regard. Obviously, you're dealing with the friendship, the bromance between these two, and the possibility of it being the finale. I don't imagine that they would do another one after this, but if they continued to do this franchise of the older Bad Boys, I wouldn't mind. I think that obviously it's a great duo, and there was a reference to something that happened. I mean, I can't remember if it happened in Bad Boys 1, but I know that off camera in Bad Boys 2, Michael Bay got pissed at Martin Lawrence because they had this super expensive car that was in the 6-digit range, and they did such a good job of not messing this car up as they took it around, and they were so precious about not messing it up that there were certain action sequences where they CGI'd the car instead of using the actual car. Of course, there's this moment where Will Smith and Martin Lawrence get out of their car and Martin Lawrence bangs it on something, and Michael Bay just loses his shit. He's like, God damn it, like, we've taken this through all kinds of shit, and of course that's when it gets messed up, is when you open the goddamn door. But anyway, that's a perfect moment to really show you the difference between their characters. It makes me happy. It just makes me happy. I'm glad that they're doing this. And some of that action at the end looks practical, which is super cool. I'm always a fan of seeing practical action because it's largely gone. Not that I want to see stuntmen risk their lives, but practical action is almost feels like a lost art in a way because everything's gone the way of CGI. I'm wondering how much practical action is going to be in this movie. I'm super happy to see Joe Pantoliano back. I just rewatched The Matrix over the weekend, and it made me remember how much I love Joe Pantoliano. It was a special AMC thing where for the 20th anniversary, they were showing The Matrix, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be there, and it was like on AMC's premiere screen and whatnot. Joe Pantoliano is such an amazing actor, and I feel like he's one of the most underused actors in Hollywood because he's so good. Like, how come we don't see more of him? I'm so happy he's in this movie. If you don't know his work outside of The Matrix, he was in another Wachowski's movie called Bound, where he was amazing in that. He was in Memento. I believe he was in The Sopranos as well. But I'm so happy he's back.
Look at this mess, it's carnage.
I didn't do all this.
You didn't shoot anybody?
Well, come on, Cap. You know I shot some people.
Yeah.
I have no idea who these directors are, but they're apparently all about reviving old franchises because the next film they're doing after Bad Boys for Life is Beverly Hills Cop 4. I love Eddie Murphy, so that's super cool. I mean, that's awesome. There was an interesting comment on Bad Boys for Life that said, now we just need Rush Hour 4. Please, 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 before it's too late. But going back to the two directors, they don't have a super long list of stuff they've done. It's a directing duo, and I guess they work together a lot. I'm a teeny tiny bit sad that Michael Bay didn't come back to do this one, even though I felt like Bad Boys 2 was way too long. It was like a 2.5-hour movie. It was just too long. Michael Bay did 1 and 2 with them, and it's just a little bit sad that he didn't come back for the third one, you know? He basically created Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I get it, you know, it's probably better that they had, you know, new directors on this who are coming at it with the love for Bad Boys 1 and 2. It's almost like the greatest Bad Boys fan film ever made, which is, it seems like what we're getting these days. You look at The Force Awakens, that's a random thing to bring up, I know, but it almost feels like the most epic fan film ever. But still, it's like you could have people who are imitating Michael Bay, or you can have Michael Bay. Irrespective, it feels like they did a good job so far. It feels like this film's a lot of fun, and it's shot well, it looks awesome. Essentially what you've got here is Martin Lawrence playing Danny Glover, because he's on his way out. He wants to retire. So this is basically like Lethal Weapon, and Will Smith is Mel Gibson. Or Riggs. You know, it's Riggs and Murtaugh. Which is why I would actually be happy to see multiple iterations of this version of Bad Boys, where you've got, you know, the older generation now continuing just days or years away from retirement as Murtaugh just kicks that can down the road just a little bit more, and then he gets stuck on the toilet, and then, you know, Will Smith's gotta save him from the bomb under his toilet, and, you know, all kinds of Lethal Weapon-like things. And then eventually they fight Jet Li, who's also older.